Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So, your boy Tyrese, he's in the news again. Once again, being a chatty patty. Now, I can't blame this generation for all this people coming out talking, telling all their business. Because number one, Tyrese been doing. Tyrese, for some reason, puts his relationships out in public all too often. Far more often than we probably like. And the only thing that happens is that people clown him, they talk about him, and then he'll get in his feelings, and then he'll keep talking, trying to justify what he goes through, why he does what he does, and then he'll say he'll sucker for love. I mean, he said this himself. And then people still not gonna change their mind, and then he still comes out and says more and more things about his love life, his relationships. He puts it on the internet and on TV for everybody to see. And I don't understand. Tyrese, he's like, this dude is, I'm gonna say about not even a year younger than myself. And yet, like I said, he seems like he talks entirely too much about relationships. So anyway, let's get into this story because, again, like I said, he's came out saying, telling the world that him and Paul Walker slept with the same woman back when they did one of the Fast and Furious movies. And the first thing I'm thinking is, why did he even come out and say that? Like, my gosh, it's like, to me, that's not the gentleman's code. You feel me? I can sit here and say for the majority of my life, I've had relations with different females. And I can't recall once, if any, if I ever put my business out there in the streets. Could have easily done that. I know other guys who sit there and talk. I never talk bad about a female, what she did, what she didn't do, nothing like that. Just like, why? You know what I'm saying? It's just, to me, that's like I said, that's not the gentleman's code, but I don't know. So I think a lot of these guys, they are emotional. A lot of guys, they, got, I'm gonna say, female tendencies because they just like to talk too much. But anyway, let's get into the story because I know everybody's heard about it, but there are maybe a few deeper details in this story that goes back that have not been put out. And so we're going to get into that, okay? So, got this from Complex Magazine website. And it says, Tyrese once again recalls sleeping with same woman as Paul Walker while filming Too Fast, Too Furious. Now, when this story first came out a few days ago, the clickbait. You got to be careful with the clickbait. It said that, he admitted that him and Paul Walker, smashed the same female. But then when you read everybody else's article or watch everybody else's videos, they'll show the part where he says that this young lady did an interview and put it out there. So what I'm thinking, well, shoot, okay, well, if she put it out there, then I guess he, it's open for him to put it out there. I mean, I still probably wouldn't have said anything. I would have been like, hey, it is what it is. That's what she said. So be it, and moved on. But but we in the age of clicks and likes and monetizing videos and getting views and subscribers and stuff. So the more people watch your videos, the more you get paid. And then let's say if you're a celebrity or somebody, and somebody wants you to come on and do an interview, and they pay you. They're pretty much paying for your story, right? So that's the age we live in. And like I said, I can't blame the youth, the young people, because no matter how much we try to fight it, change is inevitable. No matter what, it's going to be inevitable. Like I say, from what I know. And like I said, me and him about the same age, but I'm not that much older. Like I said, maybe a few months. But I was raised, you know, you don't, let's say, kiss and tell. You don't put your business out there. Now, if it's something that is wrong with this female, and you know somebody who's trying to get with her, or whatever the case may be, then you might put that out there. I mean, you tell the truth about, you know, issues that could hurt someone else. But you don't just go out there and say, yeah, she did this, she did that. Because you know what I'm saying? That's something that women do. And that's something, if you know the history, that's something that would get guys caught up and in trouble, and get other women caught up, because this woman will sit here and tell her bedroom business to her friends or her sisters or cousins or whatever. And then the next thing you know, they trying to flirt with her man, and then all hell breaks loose. I mean, you don't believe me? So ask some of your family members. I guarantee they'll tell you a story. But anywho, let's get back to this. So like I said, Complex says Tyrese has once again spoken about how he and the late Paul Walker were at one point sleeping with the same woman during the filming of Too Fast, Too Furious without knowing. Now, when they said once again, I had to look it up and see. But so anyway, he did an interview. We'll get into that. So anyway, he did an interview with the Morning Hustle, and he says, "quote She's a beautiful girl, and me and Paul were smashing the same girl on the set of Too Fast, Too Furious, and didn't even know it. It was Eva Mendez's stunt double, and we were both just complimenting this girl every day, and for whatever reason, we just didn't say we were both smashing the same girl." So basically, I think in the interview, now I skimmed through it a little bit, didn't watch the whole all in detail, but I think they was asking him about, you know, the late Paul Walker and how they become friends. And this dude came out and said, well, this is how we bonded. We was in the car talking, and somehow the conversation, you know, the topic came up, and it was like, one was like, hey, I was with her last night. He was, what? I was with her last night too. Now, I don't know. Well, I guess, you know, she just well, let's say we're gonna speak about it from, I guess, for the woman's sake. Women. No, I get to her in a minute. It says it was only when they spoke to each other about it they realized they were involved with the same woman. It said, then we told each other. He was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And then her goofy butt just recently did an interview letting the world know, but it gets even worse with her. He continued. Now, he said that she just recently did an interview. And he said, and like I say, in the clips, he'll say it gets worse, but then they splice that and go to a different part of the story. Well, the part they took out was when he said that Kim Kardashian's ex-husband was staying with this woman, or this woman was staying with him. No. Tyrese said he was staying with Kim Kardashian's ex-husband because I think him and Kim Kardashian had broke up, so they were staying together. And he said he walks into the kitchen, and this same girl was in the kitchen, and he was like trying to tell her, boy, you know that this girl, you know, pretty much, I guess, trying to say she'll pass around, I guess. And he was like, really? Like, he didn't know, but then he was like, okay, they kind of shut it down. He didn't go into too much detail. So that's the part that he said that they kind of clipped out. So there's a there's a Kardashian connection there. But he said, he also says that, they asked him, Tyrese was asked if one of them stopped sleeping with Leon when they found out about the situation. He replied, I don't think we stopped. And everybody started laughing or what have you. But again, after reading this, I wanted to just dive just a little bit deeper, you know, and Google can be your best friend. So on one part, like he said, it says she just did an interview. So I Googled the young lady name. What's her name? Cindy Leon. And come to find out that she did an interview back in, 2015. Funny thing is, this is uploaded like about April 2015. Funny thing is, Tyrese did an interview with just like Yahoo.com, and his interview was in March of 2015 when they're getting ready to do the Fast 7 or what have you. And then during that interview is when he originally said how him and Paul Walker became friends. So the question is, I'm wondering who said what first? Was it him or was it her? Either way, from a man's point of view, for Tyrese, like I say, do you like a chatty patty? Like I say, you just don't go out there and kiss and tell just for no reason. Because, and y'all probably saying, oh, Marlon, you got, putting too much, emotion and stuff like that. Tyrese didn't care about that girl. And, Paul Walker didn't care about that girl. They were just, saying knocking her down. They were just knocking her down while they was on the movie set. So, it is what it is. And I understand that. And I get it. But women still have feelings. And you never know what a female's backstory is. But the thing about the backstory that no one once has discussed, because again, I Googled and did some deep dive. So this lady, Cindy Leon, she said, woman claims she slept with Paul Walker, comments on his manhood. She said, in this little article, it said that she talks about how Tyrese was in the bedroom, and she talks about the differences between Tyrese and Paul Walker, like it was a badge of honor. Now, understand, this time she did this interview, she was 30. You probably think, oh man, she's old, she's old, she should know better than talk about this too. Like I say, you never know what a person's history is or how they got to where they was at. And the point I want to get to, one of the points I want to get to is this, what nobody's talking about is, let's go back to when Too Fast, Too Furious was being filmed or came out. So the movie, if I'm looking at my little notes right, was filmed in 2003. Now, when this lady, Miss Leon, did this interview, it said intouchweekly.com, so I don't know if she did it with them or not. This was 2015. The In Touch interview says she was 30 years old during this interview, right? So in 2015, she was 30, which means that in 2003, she would have been what age? We're going to say she would have been 18, give or take a few months. So, again, you probably saying, well, she's grown. Okay. I'm kind of tired of that, people saying that at 18 that you are grown. Why do people say that you're grown at 18, but when, and I said it in other videos, scientific studies prove that the human brain does not fully develop and really understand what the world is about until the age of 25. So at 18, you're fresh out of high school with a bunch of kids. You're young, probably got a high sex drive, trying to impress or be impressed by famous people. And you're a stunt double on a movie. So I don't know how old Eva Mendes was at the time. I didn't look that up. Sorry. But her stunt double was 18, 19 years old at the time, if my math is right. So me, still a baby. I look at it now. I mean, when we was young, we thought we was grown, we could do what we want to. But now at my age now, this girl's still a baby at 18, 19. You're probably thinking, well, people get married at 18. You're right. To older people. You're right. So, because at the time, let's just say she was 19, and Tyrese at the time was 25 years old. People get married like that. People come out of high school, 18, 19, get married to a guy in his 20s. Established, doing this thing. I say my parents were like 4 years apart. What I'm saying? When they got married. I think my mom was like 20, dad was like 24. You feel me? So you know, that little age ain't really too bad because you still know y'all still growing. But Paul Walker, and, you know, people say rest in peace, and that's fine. But we still talk about Elvis. We still talk about Jerry Lee Lewis and anybody else who married little babies. Paul Walker was 40. Yeah, he was born in 73. He was 40 when he passed. So he was born in 73. So Paul Walker was 30 when his movie was filmed. 30 years old dealing with a teenager. Nobody see anything wrong with that. Nobody want to bring out the R. Kelly tapes. You know, play the 12 play or Trapped in the Closet with Paul Walker. He gonna stay squeaky clean, right? Nobody want to talk about bring out the Bill Cosby stuff. Nothing. We're just gonna talk about a guy who was 30. She was 18, 19 years old, and you know, anybody else say, hey, took advantage of her, right? That's right. So this is my thing here. Like I said, people keeping that quiet, but this is one reason why, and I go back to the original point, this is why you don't put your business out there, because you never know how it may come back on you or somebody that you quote unquote care about. Now, Paul Walker is your boy. Even if this girl comes out and says that's what she did, as your homeboy, as a friend, I wouldn't even entertain that story. No matter how much I got paid for the interview, no matter how many clicks we would have got, whatever the case may be, I would have never told that story because, like I say, your boy was 30, at least 30, around about 30, give or take a few months. And it's like I say, this girl was still a teenager, give or take a few months. Remember when Tori asked R. Kelly, does he like teenagers? Is he like attracted to teenagers? Something like that. And he said, when you say teenagers, what age you talking about? And he was like, teenagers. You know, so, and this is the same thing. But see, because Tyrese is putting his business out there, and now don't forget now, recently, Tyrese business been out there with his his new girl, his latest girlfriend. When she said, let's see, let me go here and look. It says, it's on back to complex.com. It says Tyrese opened up about the story comes not long after the actor and musician went viral when his girlfriend Zelie Timothy, who is an Instagram, picture taker or model, I guess you want to call them models now, I guess, good Lord, admitted she was more interested in Paul Walker initially. Now, dang on it, Paul Walker been dead since what, 2013? This is 10 years ago. Like, how old is this girl? Anyway, Paul Walker been dead 10 years, and she said initially, my type was actually Paul Walker, rest in peace, Zelie said. But Tyrese, they said, was pointing him, say him, but he wasn't my type at all. And my type is not quote unquote white. I'm just saying I was more interested in Paul. In the clip, Tyrese seemed visibly annoyed and told her not to touch him. He probably was upset. I'm sure he was in his feelings, but this is the girl you chose. Even when I met Tyrese, even when I met him, I was like, he's kind of old. She continued. I just like his smile. It's pretty cool. His personality was okay. I wonder if I can look up and see how old this child is. Let me look at this real quick. Yeah, no, we're gonna do this on the fly. What is her name? Zelie Timothy. Yeah, I'm sorry, we're doing this on the fly because I want to know. Here we go. Zelie Timothy's age. Let's see if it's 27. So she's 27 years old right now. She's 27 and Tyrese is 44, 45. So yeah, you got him a young tender. So yeah, she probably did think he was old. But you know what, dude? You serving a purpose right now. Will this relationship last for a long time? I doubt it. Hey, she was born in 95. Good Lord, anyway, 27. That's not right. Yeah, okay, that's right. So yes, I don't think this relationship gonna last long. Yeah, I mean, Tyrese was serving a purpose. You know, you're an emotional wreck, and she sees a way to get more famous than what she is. But then, like a kid, she gonna tell how she really feels. But she's probably putting it out there for other suitors. You know, so when this relationship is over with, they can understand, hey, oh, Tyrese had them a fine one, you know, or Instagram model, or whenever they over with, I'm gonna jump on her, you know. And so she's probably trying to, you know, put feelers out there by saying something like that. You gotta watch these young ladies. But anyway, like I'm saying, man, I don't understand it. I don't understand all this talking, telling your business, telling everybody else's business. Cause like I said, you never know. You may say something, you don't know who you talking to. You might never know who may hear this. You don't know what Paul Walker was going through at the time. He might have been in a relationship at the time. You know what I'm saying? So especially with him being, you know, being deceased, you know, there are people who may want to remember him a certain way. Especially like the young ladies in his life, his mother. Maybe he got sisters. Maybe, you know, maybe his any exes that he had, his kids. You know what I'm saying? They want to probably remember him a certain way. And y'all went out there and just pretty much kind of made him look bad. Kind of made him look like he was what you call it, Jason Whitlock called a silent P. Well, no, that's not right. Because that's if you're dealing with underage, like really underage people. But anyway, yeah, like them young. You know, and I don't know, man. But like I said, my point is, hey, keep your business out the street. Especially if it pertains to somebody else. That's one thing we knew growing up, like we would say, hey, if you're going to do some dirt, you're going to do anything, don't do it around nobody and don't tell your business. Because I tell people all the time, it's like, I tell folks that know me now, that didn't know me back in the day, I never talk about how I grew up. No, rarely. Unless it's like some positive stuff, because that's all I'm really on right now. Because you never know who you're talking to. I may say something that may trigger somebody, or I may be talking to somebody who knew somebody that I dealt with, had dealings with back in the day, well, friends or enemies or whatever with back in the day. And this person know that person. And so now you just never know what can happen. Anyway, tell me what you think, man. Leave your comments below and then share this with the world. Hey, hit the likes. Hit the subscription button. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.